Hey, it's your friend Jay. Welcome to your January tarot reading. In this video, we'll go for energies and guidance for all 12 zodiac signs. This is going to be a general reading, so feel free to take what resonates and leave the rest. And the video is broken down by 12 signs, so feel free to skip ahead to your sign, but also pay attention to the sun, moon, and rising signs. Dr. Courtney here is going to provide me some assistance in the background. With all of that, let's start with the first sign. Aries, you're going to be our first. And by the way, Happy New Year. Hope this new year brings all of my viewers all the hopes and desires and the happiness that you truly deserve. You can see a few major arcana cards showing up right away. Well, Aries, this is going to be your month. That's these for sure. Right, Aries. For the overall ambient energy, we've got the King of Swords. King of Swords energy is the clarity, the clear communication, is someone who thinks without emotions with pure logic. And at the core of reading is the Magician. This is going to be an interesting dynamic between the two. So Magician can literally manifest anything that he desires, and he's got all the signs here, all of the elements. You've got the swords and the wands, and they also have a lemniscate. This is unlimited potential. So at the core of the reading is a reminder that you can manifest anything you want in your life as long as you give it a proper attention. And the King of Swords also is suggesting that you need to be approaching things with the common sense, be communicating clearly, and be really clear on what is it that you want in your life. So let's have a look at the inner energies. So you've got the King of Rods. This is King of Wands. We're using the Morgan Gray version, the Sun. And we also have the Five of Pentacles. It's quite an interesting progression here. King of Rods is a passionate leader who is driven by strong convictions, and he's a person who wants to change the world, hopefully to be a better place. We also have the Sun here, and Sun is the happiest card in the whole tarot deck. This is culmination of your desires, and what I can see here is a progression here. You are driven by passion. In the first few weeks, you're going to be stepping in with that bold, charismatic energy of a King of Wands, and this is going to lead you to this a beautiful state of mind where things around you just glowing with happiness. And this is what the Sun here is. Relationships going to reach its momentum, and it's not necessarily a romantic card. It's more to do with this sense of overwhelming happiness, like a child may feel when they're just stepping into the world. And you also have the Five of Pentacles here. Now, don't be alarmed. This is all inner worlds, thoughts and ideas. And the Five of Pentacles, what it really represents is that you may feel that you don't belong. And I think in this progression, I would say that you feel that you don't deserve the happiness. You feel like you almost don't believe that this is happening to you. And this card is a reminder that you really manifesting what it is that you want in your life, and you need to be working on the feeling that you do deserve happiness, that you do deserve to have beautiful people in your life, and you do deserve things that you're manifesting in your life, right? So this is the reminder of that. Let's look at your inner column, and I'm just loving what I'm seeing here. So you get the Lover's card, the Magician that we talked about, and the Wheel of Fortune. Right, the month, this is a learnings and core knowledge pillar, right? So it combines your inner world and your external world in this column here. The Lovers is telling me that there is a place for a really strong bond with someone in your life in the first couple of weeks of January. And the Lovers card In other versions, it represents a choice between spiritual and material. But in this case, I would say this is most certainly a romantic or deep connection with someone, right? Or something. If this is general reading, we're not looking at specific situation here. This could be a connection with yourself, but in most cases, this is a connection with someone you really care about, Aries. We also have a Magician card, and it looks like this is telling me that the lovers, the connection will encourage, or the word I'm looking for, they will inspire you to start creating things in your life, right? And a magician literally is a creator, whatever comes to his mind, and you just have to be mindful that you create things that serving you and others as well. And I can see with the Sun card, this is definitely happening here. Now, they also have a Wheel of Fortune, and combined with these two cards, I would say the Wheel of Fortune is here is suggesting to me that things are on an upswing, right? The Wheel of Fortune is a change that happens outside of your control, generally, and I often refer to it as a karmic wheel. And karmic wheel goes for a cycle, and we also have other events, the universe, people around us that have their own life, and we can only be accountable and in control of what we have in life, our thoughts, ideas, and actions we take, and things we say. This card also can be a reminder of that we cannot control everything that we have in our life, but there are some things that we are in control. Like as I was mentioning here, the feeling of not belonging, it's a feeling. This is something that you're in total control of. Yeah, I think this is a really good card to see here. To me, it sounds like this is a really lucky month for you, January, Aries. Let's look at the external world. This is quite interesting what I'm seeing here. You get the Two of Pentacles, the Five of Wands, and we've got the Devil card, right? Interesting. Well, I can see a lot of positive, shining examples of positivity coming from the inner world and the cold learning. Here we got interesting dynamics, right? So you get Two of Pentacles is the balance card. Balance in the material sense often represents balance in your finances, for instance, money coming in, money coming out. Nothing to be aware of. This guy is pretty comfortable sitting there with the boat right behind of him, and while there's a balancing act happening, there are calm waters. There's no storm or anything. So it's just suggesting to me that there'll be some bills for you to pay, and there'll be just sort of keeping things ticking. Don't forget to pay your bills, obviously, and make sure that you get paid when you need to be paid, that sort of thing. But yeah, just keep the balance, right? This is stepping into the first week and a half of January. Five of Wands, guys. I can see how the month will be warming up. Wands, in my case, I would often refer to them as passionate projects. Mainly the main place of your occupation. If you're in a business that would did, there's a lot of competing ideas, right? And on the traditional Rider-Waite-Smith card, you will see few people having like a stick fight, right? But the funny thing that wear similar colors. So there are some people around you who are really passionate about certain things, and you're gonna have to prove them that it's going to be a bit of a challenge, right? You don't necessarily have to prove anything, but it's going to be a bit of a challenge between you and others, a rivalry, but also a friendly rivalry. While you cannot see it on this card, I can tell you with Rider-Waite-Smith, there's definitely people coming from the same ideas and thoughts, and it's just a matter of getting everyone on the same level. So we also have a Devil card, quite interesting as well. So the reason is that I think. I find it interesting that you have a devil coming from a sense of balance and moving into a conflict. And devil is a reminder not to be attached to unhealthy habits, not letting your life go on autopilot. The environment here will be giving you those opportunities, and you know what to do with them, right? So be aware that this is happening. See where you're getting the gravitational field pull you into influence of the people, the habits. And it's January, it's a time to start a new year with new fresh energies. Just ask yourself a question: is this something you want to have in your life or not? And move towards the positive side of life. Let's get a clarifier card, and curious to see what's happening with this corner here, because I can clearly see that your inner world is resilient, and there's also a beautiful connection happening here. But externally, you may need to be aware of other dynamics happening there, right? And let's see what clarifier is telling us. You and your loved ones are safe. Yeah, that's excellent. I love this. So I think this dynamic here, this is telling me that things are okay, right? The King of Swords here, the ambient energy I was talking about, is telling us to approach things with a clear mind, with logic, and look at situation objectively. And the main thing here is that whatever's happening in your learnings and your inner core, things are okay, everything is safe, and what's happening externally is going to work out well. Hello Taurus, welcome to your part of the reading. Thanks for joining me today. The devil keeps showing up in the readings, but I can see there's a lot of other beautiful things happening in this reading. Just gonna move cards just a tiny bit because I realize that they may not be centered properly. I hope that works out okay. Okay, so what do we have here? We got the Seven of Wands as your external ambient energy, I should say. This card is suggesting to me that you've been doing really well, but the environment around you may challenge you to prove that you've got what you need. And I can tell you that you are already victorious, right? It's just more of a fact that you may have to, you may be challenged by others. And it's important for you to carry on with that energy of someone who already have a lot of wins under the belt, right? So we also have the Four of Wands here. I love this card in the middle. So this is a card of strong foundation, building strong foundation of home. There's also a card of someone who is coming back home from a trip. It can also mean the sense of a sense of strong foundation, a sense of groundedness. That's what I'm looking for. And this to me is suggesting to me that this passionate project or the foundation that I was referring to, this is something that has been challenged there. Now, the inner world, we've got the Three of Pentacles, the Lovers, and the Four of Cups. The Three of Pentacles. So this is your inner world, your desires, your thoughts, and ideas, and how you feel. January, you're going to be stepping into the energy of building mastership. It's a card of working with others. So there's going to be a lot of ideas and the opportunities to learn from others. This person literally building something. It's also a card of being a leader, a thought leader. In the traditional version of this card, in the Rider-Waite-Smith, you've got one person standing on a bench and two others looking at him for advice. So this is a card of mastership. Now this is going to lead to a very strong conviction, I would say. You'll be choosing an idea that's a passion that you're really well connected with, right? So I think this mastery is going to lead for forming a really strong idea or or thought in your mind. That's what I'm thinking of. You're going to be choosing one idea to progress further. I love how this is also connected here with a strong foundation. To me, this is going to lead to you actually starting building something in material world, right? We also have the Four of Cups. Now, this is kind of stagnation. It's interesting enough, you also have a Hermit. We're going to talk about that in a second. But it's also a card of not seeing opportunities that come in your way, right? And potentially sometimes you do it on purpose. As well as stagnation sounds like a negative thing, it can also be a deliberate choice. You may be choosing to stay in a comfort because you look at other options already, or you know what they're going to be. So yeah, overall, interesting progression here. I think you're going to be really comfortable with the idea you're going to come up with in the middle of a month. And I think for me, this card is not a stagnation; it's a card of a choice. You're happy to stay where you're going to arrive by the end of January. Let's look at your inner workings. The knowledge and core learnings for the month. You've got the Three of Wands. This card represents taking action on your plans. Can also be a travel. If you're planning on traveling somewhere, then it's traveling coming back home. So if you've been working overseas or moved to another location, I can see this happening here. It's a general reading, so it's very hard to name specific scenarios because we're looking at energies more than anything else, but they can manifest themselves in a very different way for in each person's life, right? This can also mean executing an action towards building a strong home, a strong foundation of something. Now, this is quite interesting because I think, remember I mentioned to you that I don't think this is a stagnation card. It's a card of being comfortable where you are. The Hermit here is telling me that once you reach this place of strong foundation, you're going to be taking time to reflect on what is it that is true for you. Right? The Hermit is looking for truth. It's deliberate, stepping away from hustle and bustle, is that how you said, of life to find what really is true for you, something that you resonate with. And this is going to be happening towards the end of January. And finally, your external world. We got the Star, the Devil, and we've got the Seven of Pentacles. Love is here. So this here fits perfectly well. Building your mastery, taking action, and the Star. The Star is a card of hope. It can also be a card of balance, but in this case, I would say it's a star of hope that whatever action you're going to be taking, the opportunities that are coming up for you, the thinking is going to take you to a positive place. Now, you also have a Devil here. Now, don't fear the Devil. The Devil is a reminder of not being attached to ideas that are not working for you. Sometimes it's people, negative relationships, and I think this is a reminder of here that while the things may not be as positive as they may be, and there's a gravitational field pulling you towards some of those unhappy energies, the main point here is that you are building a strong foundation, or may have come back to your grounded place, and use that to counterbalance the negative influences that you may have in your life. Or if you're doing it on purpose or not on purpose, with awareness, it's probably time to step away from it, right? And the Seven of Wands card, I can see that this guy here is looking at these unhealthy tendencies. This is a time to fight them off and prove that you don't really need to be attached to something that is not working for you, right? Seven of Pentacles here. Interesting. I love how the cards here. So this is collecting the harvest. This Seven of Pentacles, a card of working hard to build wealth, right? It's not necessarily money. Perhaps could be some other type of material manifestation of wealth. It's so it's a card of you achieving the results. I can see it works really well here. If you, I'm not going to go deep into this, but if you look, let's say, at the karmic absorption, how external world influences your thinking, I can see that you have achieved a good amount of success here, and that led to a foundation, and that's going to feed this line of mastery here, right? But overall, towards the end of the month, there'll be plenty of opportunities for you to look at the fruits of labor, so to speak, and then make a decision whether you want to continue on this path. And I think this is what Hermit is telling you. Towards the end of January, you'll be taking time, just stepping away and looking objectively at what you have created to find if the path you traveled, like example I can give you, if you work towards a particular goal in your career and perhaps you got that pay rise or you got something out of it, this is going to be a time for you to look at it and reassess whether you want to continue that way. Is this working for you? Is this the thing that you want to continue with? Or maybe it's time for something else. So this is coming towards the end of January. And if you tune in for the next month reading, you'll find out whether we will together find out where you ended up with that. Let me just get a clarifier card. A win-win outcome is a forecast. So if you're planning on something, is there I think this is related to the overall ambient energy here. When you do have to prove your points to other people and you've been challenged, look for a solution that works for both of you. Right? I think this is what it's telling me. Hello, Gemini. Welcome to your part of reading. A slightly different position of the camera today, and if my cards don't show up properly, I apologize for that. All right, overall ambient energy is the King of Swords. So this is the energy of clarity. This is energy of speaking your truth. This is the energy of, in all the ways, being blunt and coming from a place of logic, pure logical thinking, right? And this is what the environment for the January is going to look like for you. Now, we also have the Four of Pentacles here, and it's interesting that you get a couple of Pentacles cards here. So Four of Pentacles is a card of someone who achieved a good level of balance financially, in material sense. It's a good stable card, but it's also a reminder not to hold on to it for too tightly, because it's also called a card of greed, right? And it's someone who have a lot, but they're also not willing to let go. And you can see how this can be a negative outcome. But overall, I think January will be the card of accumulating this wealth overall, achieving a balance in material sense, but also approaching things with a common sense, with clarity and logic. In the world, we've got the Six of Pentacles, Two of Wands, and Five of Cups. Six of Pentacles is a card of generosity. You're going to be stepping into this month with the mindset of being someone who wants to give to people. And it's important here to mention that while it's good to be generous, you need to also assess whether the person can accept the gift. Is it something that they are comfortable taking, or can they even able to take it? But overall, the energy for the month is the abundance one, right? And not just keeping it to yourself, but also sharing with others. We also have the Two of Wands. There's a lot of planning coming your way. It looks like you have some good ideas where you want to take your life to the next level, and this person literally is holding the world in their hand. We also have the Five of Cups. Now this card is a card of regret. I think this is a reminder that whenever you start working on your plans where you want to take your next 12 months or whatever long is going to take it, do not come from a place of regret, because you want to build your plans based on the forward-looking momentum rather than looking backwards. It's important to look for your mistakes, of course, but it's also important not to make your decisions while you're biased and potentially regretful, because it'll be very difficult for you to move forward with that mindset. For your core learnings, we've got the Two of Cups, the Four of Pentacles that we just talked about, and the Ace of Wands or Rods in this version of the Rider-Waite-Smith deck. Two of Cups is a card of emotional connection with someone. It's almost like a lover's card, but in the sense that it's not necessarily be a romantic connection. This is general reading, so I would say that there is a strong bond coming with someone, and it says emotional bond rather than anything else, and there'll be opportunity for that. And this is a person that you already know, most likely. It could be even yourself if you're a single person and this is not a romantic setting. We also have the Four of Pentacles. And this is a strong foundation of material wealth. I think January is a very stable month for you, Gemini. And this is all going to lead to a new passion, new project. And I think this works really well with this Two of Wands mindset card here. It isn't just a mindset, you're actually going to execute on that. And I think I like that the Four of Pentacles is moving to the Ace of Wands, because as I mentioned, the Four of Pentacles can be a stagnation card or more of a greed card, where someone builds a strong foundation but they're not willing to let go, and it makes them a bit rigid, you know, like not willing to enter a relationship or go into a project because you're worried about losing your money or lose something else because of that, right? Externally, we're looking at the World card, the Magician. Wow, you got the trifecta of amazing cards here, and you got the Star card. So the World card represents a completion of something, and I can see how the abundant thinking is coming from the World card. Now, can mean different things. It could be going to be finishing a project that you worked the whole year and it just didn't happen in January. It just in December last year, you closing it off in January. But it's definitely a completion of a cycle coming your way, and it's a good completion of a cycle. This is not like, let's say, a death card where there's abrupt ending of something. This is something you worked on for quite some time, and you come into the end of it, right? And also this romantic connection here, it could be connection with a person that went on the journey with you, but it can also be connection with you because you completed something and now you're ready to move into the next phase of your life, or you building on that bond you created through going through all the cycles, all the Fool's journey, coming to the final card of the major arcana. Now I have a Magician card, and I can see how Magician and Two of Wands here playing really well together. This is a really strong foundation, by the way. You got the material world really under control and balanced, and you looking to move further. You're looking to build on that, the foundation that you see behind this guy. And you also have opportunities around you to manifest that into your life. The Magician is a builder, is a person who's got an ideas in his head and he wants to make it real, something tangible, right? He also comes into it with a sense of hope. I like how you have the Star and the Ace of Wands card here, right? Star represents that hope. So overall, very interesting month, Gemini. It looks like you've been working on something for quite some time, and January is the month. Let's pull a clarifier card, and I don't feel like you really need it here. Readings are really clear, but let's have a look at this anyway. Take time to breathe out. Interesting. So looking at it now, I think this is important reminder that when you move between the cycles, you finished here and you're moving into the next phase of your life, make sure you take a bit of time. Make sure you take a couple of days to reflect on this, right? And also be wary of the regret. When you move to your next phase, use it as a learning. Use the information that you learn from failures to let you make better steps in the future, but don't let it define where you're going to go next, right? Or don't let it slow you down. Welcome to your part of the reading, Cancer. I always feel a little bit nervous when I'm reading for Cancer because I am one of them, and it's interesting. I'm probably more excited than nervous. It's always fun when you work with tarot, and these are energies, right? And it's good to see where the road is going to take us. But welcome to your part of reading. Interesting month ahead of us. Okay. So for the January, we got the Empress card, the card of abundance, the card of fertility, the card of creativity. So there's going to be plenty of opportunities for us to be creative, to learn something, to build something new. So I quite like that. And inner energy, we got this Seven of Swords. There's a card of someone sneakily running away with a whole bunch of swords they presumably stole. Quite an interesting card. I think this plays in two ways. Seven of Swords, despite the somewhat negative image, it's kind of strategic planning and often snapping the victory from a jaws of defeat. Is that the saying? So I think between the two here, and just sort of reflecting on what's happening with my life, I want to say that there'll be opportunities for you to grow. There'll be opportunities to create something. It's definitely there, and it's important to be strategic about it, and also feel okay to achieve a victory in creative ways. Nothing negative, nothing that you should be applying in this case, but at the same time, I think this is a good reminder to be a strategic thinker, right? As humans evolve because of our ability to coordinating and being able to use the language and tools rather than just being as strong animals, because like lions or tigers, we evolve because of our ability to be intelligent, to do strategic planning, to coordinate things, and that's why we evolve to who we are. So that's how I interpret these two. The Tower. So this is inner world, right? We've got the Tower, the Page of Cups, and we've got the Seven of Pentacles. Interesting spread. So the first week and a half is really beginning sort of thing. We're moving from the beginning of the month towards the end. Tower represents the dismantling of all beliefs, right? It's dismantling the structure. Something just collapsing down because perhaps you didn't meet your expectations. Something that you were thinking is going to work out in the way that you thought it will be. And this is in the world, right? So this is definitely the belief. Often this card comes sort of a companion of the Devil card. This is breaking down the illusion, right? Whatever illusion may have been. The Page of Cups is a card of opportunities to build a strong emotional connection. The page here looking at the fish, both coming from a side of the water sign, and there's going to be opportunities for you to create new connections, and not necessarily a person. So this is more of the inner world, right? It could be an ideas that you may that may grow on you, right? And this is a reminder of that. Just be on the lookout of this. All pages are messengers, right? So there's going to be some of those inklings, but they will only become something real if you invest your energy and you pay attention to them. And finally, we got the Seven of Pentacles card here. So Seven of Pentacles is someone who's been working really hard and they come into the end of the harvest, or they are still working and they achieved a significant amount of growth. Given it's a mindset card, I think this is going to be a pivotal point for you at the end of the month, whether you want to continue investing into something that you've been working really hard on, whether it's ideas or some kind of a belief that this is going to continue going there, and it's been working really well for you. You're going to be asked a question whether you want to continue in that direction or you want to collect your harvest and move to something else. So whatever that is for you, that's coming towards the end of January. The inner learnings, the core learnings, core knowledge, we got the Star, Seven of Swords that we talked about, and the Judgment card, right? The star is the energy of hope, right? It can also be energy of balance, and I think in this situation it's both. And we'll talk about the two of swords in a couple of moments. But I think what's happening here in the first week and a half, 2 weeks, there's some belief is coming down, and at the same time there's a hope that this belief will lead to something else, right? We also have the Seven of Swords energy as well. Now, depending on how you interpret it, I would say that in this case, the hope can only materialize if you are creative about how you're achieving this, right? And the Judgment here is something coming here at the end of the month for you. You got the Seven of Pentacles Judgment and Temperance card, and the Judgment card is, I think, they're both working together here. The Judgment is literally a judgment. You know, you've been assessed based on something, or judged based on something in practical terms. So this is more for learning. It could be an exam, an assessment, or something of that nature. And because it's a knowledge column here, it sort of combines both external and internal. I would say that it's also the call for you for the transformation. You got to this point here, you accumulated some knowledge and experiences, and this is a call for you, whether you want to continue the same way, or is it time for you to take the next step and move into something that you may not have been planning to do, or perhaps this is something that you build upon for a while, and that's going to be a call now. Do you want to continue staying in the same lane, or do you want to move something somewhere else based on your knowledge, experiences you accumulated so far? External environment. So get the Two of Swords, the Five of Swords, and the Temperance. I've got a few sword cards present here. This is a logic and communication and that sort of thing. Now, Two of Swords is a card of balance. So here, interestingly enough, you got the Hope card and the Swords card. The Swords card is about needing to make a decision but not knowing all the details about it, right? And of course, there is a solution here. The person here has their hands aren't tied, but they have got a blindfold. They can take it off and see what's happening. They're choosing, to sometimes to be honest with themselves, right? If that happens, if the environment around you is not giving you enough detail, you can also use the intuition, right? Unless you deliberately willing or choosing, I should say, not look at the reality with clear vision, then in a second scenario, use your intuition. To me, this is telling me that your environment is not going to give you all the details you need, right? And you need to stay hopeful that things are going to work out in the way that you want them to work out. You also have a Five of Swords card here. So this is external environment, right? So we're talking about walking away from something that is no longer serving you, or walking away, probably shouldn't say it. This is kind of walking away from fights that are not worth fighting for. Is this battle is about something you really care about? Right? Some people can also see it as a card of a defeat, whether it's a defeat by, if it's a defeat of people around you, and you coming victorious, which I think is to me suggesting that. So in this case, I would say that there is something happening that is going to work out in your favor, because here this person runs away from a fight. I think you're going to be clever enough not to get into a fight, or if you did, this represents a defeat of the others and you moving away out of here, right? Now, finally, we've got a Temperance card. Temperance card is a card of balance. With all everything that's happening here, I think towards the end of January, you need to find that balance. You need to find the balance between your spiritual world, your psychological or well-being or mental health, and what's happening around you. Because this to me looks like a very intense month, right? You've got a lot of things happening here around you with the false beliefs, coming crashing down. You've got a bit of action here, and towards the end of January, there will be opportunities for you to take a breather. Do it. Don't use that time. Don't feel guilty about taking time off or just not being so active in other parts of your life, because you need to take time to find that balance. This is a card that's a reminder of that. Let's get a clarifier card and see if it's going to give us more detail, because it's quite an interesting read here. Remember I mentioned that I feel a little bit nervous about reading for myself, and this is one of those things, I guess. It's time to release negativity. Full moon in Scorpio. All right. This is here, right? Whenever the Tower card happens, there is a tendency in us to cling on or hold on to something that was there before, right? And the whole idea of a tower is let go of that. On this image, you can see people falling down, but they're falling down into water, right? None of them gets destroyed. It's just the tower, the beliefs that coming down. And clinging on to this or feel negative about the past isn't going to help you to move forward. This card is a reminder of that. Hello, Leo. Welcome to your part of the reading. All right, Leo. Let's see what the cards show us for January. So overall ambient energy for January is the one of a bit of a tension, a bit of a conflict, and not necessarily conflict in the sense of having physical fights with someone, more of a competing with other people, or potentially other thoughts, something that you're really passionate about, as well as others. So this is the Five of Wands you see in here. And that one is, so that at the core of your reading for January is the Five of Pentacles. Now, as another five, and five is normally it's energy moving from a stable energy to a change, right? And here's the Five of Pentacles. You see this couple who are going through some troubles, and this card is telling me that you may be feeling that you don't belong, or you may not, or feel like you don't belong, or that you don't have enough in January, right? Let's have a look at other cards in the spread to get a better picture of what it is. But yeah, to me, it looks like two conflicts happening at the same time. One is a bit of a competition, and another one is the feeling of not belonging. For the inner world, we've got the Sun, King of Cups. We also have the Knight of Pentacles. So the Sun is the happiness energy. It's this energy of a child enjoying life without any boundaries, without any conditions, just pure, unadulterated joy. This is a first week of stepping into January. Quite like it here. Now, this is going to lead to the energy of King of Cups. King of Cups is a supportive leader. It's someone who cares about others, and he leads by compassion. What it means in the mindset, though, this feeling of overwhelming happiness is going to open new horizons for you. And it also shows me that it's coming from a place of abundance, right? Because you can only be generous and compassionate with others if you come from a mindset of having enough. Now, we also see in the Knight of Pentacles here. So Pentacles take the the actions slow and steady. Right? It's a night of deliberation, a night of not making decisions based from very grounded and practical approach, right? They also can indicate a learning. What it's telling me here is an arc of having from this place of abundance that will allow you to open up to others and start taking actions in improving your material well-being, right? So once the emotions are all in a strong foundation there, this is towards the end of the month. Let's look at the central column here. So this is Judgment, the Five of Pentacles, and also we're seeing here the Three of Swords, but in reverse position. Now, if you've seen my other readings, I don't do reverse readings, but in this case, I'm going to make an exception because just it fell out of the deck, and I thought, well, it must be for a reason. So what we're seeing here is there is a transformation coming your way, and this transformation is sort of a karmic release based on the actions and your life heading to this moment. If you've been learning, if you've been working on something when you wanted to improve yourself, this is where the pivotal point of showing what you learned and moving to the next phase of your life based on the learnings and the actions you've taken. That's where it's going to happen. Think of it as a life exam, so to speak. You know, if you've been helping others and you've been taking steps to improve not just your life and the life of others, this is where you'll be given other opportunities, right? And the opposite is also true. Judgment is also a revealing card. It's almost like a truth card, right? This is where it all summed up, the good and bad, and then the final outcome sort of given. This is general reading again, right? So the energies here are universal. Whether it's an exam for you, where you're going for an interview, or perhaps there's some other things happening in your life where you feel that you come into a point where you need to show what you've got, and whether you're ready to step into that next level. This is the card. Now, this is leading to Five of Pentacles, right? And the outcome of this, the Judgment looking at, is the feeling of not belonging, right? There's people outside of a church. On this version of the card, there's more focus on this turmoil, some kind of unhappy events happening. But in the Rider-Waite-Smith deck, you will see that these two people, they are outside of a church, and this is generally like they can go in, but for some reason they choose not to, right? Because the church is a welcoming place, and this is really to do with that. So I think the Judgment is most likely happening in your head. But also, I would say that it's going to be triggered by something external, because you don't really see that happening in the mindset here. And this is going to lead to that feeling of not belonging. Now, the Three of Swords, right? This is a card of disappointment. But here is our way around. I think you will be turning the energy in your favor here, because the opposite of Three of Swords is actually something that does meet your expectations, right? And I think what's this telling me here, that this is going to lead to the successful resolution, because I'm also seeing something else here. There's an abundance card here, right? The Nine of Pentacles, but we'll look at it in a due second. So, and this realization that you do belong, and this is actually quite interesting because it's a reverse of what you see here, that you do have things in your life, material things in your life that you can rely on. You do belong, and this is the resolution here. Now we have this is external column. This is your environment, people, places where you work or where you live. You've got the Fool, the Page of Pentacles, and we also have the Nine of Pentacles here. January will offer you plenty of opportunities to learn and also make a fool of yourself in a good way. Right? The Fool is this happy, naive energy, sort of learner person. He or she is ready to jump off a cliff into unknown, and you're not going to be doing it by yourself too, right? While Fool is here by himself, he's got a a companion, a dog that is giving him or her a bit of a guidance. Also, you got the tools and everything to make that next step, right? So I'm going to say that there is a person in your life or people in your life that will give you that opportunity. It's a beautiful card to get in January, and I also think that you got these two cards, the mindset that is happy coming this way, and this is happening in the first half of the month. I think the outcome of here moves us to the Page of Pentacles. Now I mentioned that the Knight of Pentacles is a very slow, more pragmatic steps energy. Page of Pentacles is a learner of the deck. This is and it's also opportunities to build material wealth. So the environment you're in, people will be offering you these opportunities, and I think this is definitely to do with wealth, right? And I like how the Page of Pentacles is moving into the abundance card. I can see there's a conflict here with the Five of Pentacles, right, and moving into this, coming from a judgment. But I also see there's a successful resolution of that, because the Nine of Pentacles is a card of success, right? And if you're an entrepreneur, or if you're running a team where you are reliant on yourself, a team of one, I would say this is that card, right? This is a card of achieving the abundance with your on your own terms, with your own hands, and that's an indicator here that this resolves the feeling of not belonging in your favor. Let's get a clarifier card. I want to see what else the cards would be telling us about this. Of course, my suggestion to you here, with the feeling of not belonging, you can see how the gaze of both of these characters are pointing at you there, right? I think in your mind, you do know that you get everything you need to be abundant, but you also have the opportunities there for you. You need to keep an eye on for those. You already have the seeds of this wealth, material wealth in your environment. All you need to do, just raise your head and look at that, right? And this will lead you to the abundance, the Nine of Pentacles card. Just an advice, guidance from the cards. Let's get the clarifier card. Oh, we got two. A time to give rather than take. Let's have a look at the second one too. Why not? Because fill out, this probably wants to be here. Have faith in your dreams. Now, this is what I think he's telling me. Looking at the core card here, right? If you have a feeling that you don't have enough, you don't belong, it's probably because you also trying to hold everything and not releasing either its energy or what you have, because we often realize how much we have for the act of giving, right? When you enter this state, when you encounter this, look at your generosity side. See what it is that you are willing to give to others, right? And I think that's just how you overcome this hurdle here, and have faith in your dreams. I'm also thinking that this is definitely speaking to the Knight of Pentacles, right? The way you get to this place of abundance is in believing it, in what is it that you want. And I hope you have written your yearly goals. It's always good to realign yourself with what you're going to be doing this year, and we have 365 or even less nowadays. So write your dreams on a piece of paper, because that usually helps. Hello, Virgo. Welcome to your final reading. Let's take a look at what the cards tell us about your January. Interesting. Overall energy for January for you, Virgo, is the Lovers card. Lovers card is a In Rider-Waite Smith version, in this one here, is choosing something that you really care about. Is a very strong connection with something that you resonate with. And if you, this is general reading, so if you're a single person, it's a connection with yourself. If you are in relationship, this could also indicate very strong, forming a really strong bond with someone you already know. We also have the Five of Cups here. And the Five of Cups is a reminder of not dwelling on past mistakes. It's a regret card, right? And I think it's interesting how you have this tension between the Lovers and the Five of Cups. This card definitely is telling me that when you're stepping in this energy of connection with someone, you need to remember not to bring your exes back in the conversation, not to when you catch yourself thinking about how great things were, or if you, let's say, had a fight with this person or with yourself, try not to get trapped in a old thoughts and ideas that may drag you back into that negative thinking. This is a reminder to move forward rather than get stuck in the past and continue be on the same. Continue doing the same mistakes, right? Because I also see there's another card here that's sort of suggesting that this may happen if you not paying attention to the guidance here. Inner world, we've got the Four of Pentacles, the Nine of Pentacles. We also have the Five of Pentacles, right? So all Pentacle cards here. I would say, Virgo, that January is going to be about building that material wealth, and well, not necessarily building, but this is going to be a month where you're going to be focusing on building the material things around you, whether it's wealth or something else related to wealth, like property or what have you. And this is something more for long-term thinking. This is not just a paycheck situation. This is more about where you want to take your life from here, right? Now, I can see that you already have enough. The Four of Pentacles is telling me that in your mindset, you definitely know that you have enough. This is enough for you to be happily living, and you have a very strong foundation. And towards the mid-Jan, I like how there is a release of that the wealth, well, in your mind at least, is a move towards the generosity, or more towards actually you started using your money to enjoy life, right? Because the Four of Pentacles here, he's really grabbing on to whatever he's got. And this card is also called greed, but it's really an indication of someone who's not willing to let go. But you can't take gold with you, to another life. It's really something for you to experience here. And this Nine of Pentacles is telling me that you will go through this transition of releasing this wealth. Now, one caveat here to see, this is a Five of Pentacles, right? And I would say that something will happen in your environment that will trigger a feeling that you don't belong, or you don't have enough. So this is a transition here, right? And this is happening towards the end of the month. Now, this is an inner world, and the indication here that this is all in your own head, and the way to turn this around is to start paying attention to what it is that you do have in your life, rather than the lack of. The core learnings, we've got the Magician, the Five of Cups, and the Devil card. Again, another interesting scenarios here. So January is going to be a bit of a month of tension and different energies coming into play here. The Magician is a sign of you being able to create things in your life. Right? The Magician energy is bringing your ideas, your thoughts, your inspirations into tangible things in your life. Whether you thought of creating a business, or maybe if you in creative business or type of work, this is writing a new piece of artwork or creating a video. But it also can be something simple as taking your idea to the next level and going and talking to your boss, saying, hey, this I came up with this. How do you think we can take it through, and give them some suggestions on implementing that. Now we have this transition here to the Five of Cups. Again, it's an interesting one because you have two Five of Cups here. And this is energy that moves from the stable foundation into more of a next change, right? Five is a number of conflicts or upsetting the status quo, and this is kind of regret, right? So I can see here that also we have a devil card here, right? And devil is an unhealthy attachment to something. In the Rider-Waite-Smith version of this deck, a couple that is chained to the devil, and the devil, they can walk away anytime, but they're choosing to be there, either because they're not aware of what's happening, or there's a sense of comfort with what they have, right? So this is what it's telling me here. You have a potential to create anything you want, right? And the reminder here is not to dwell on past mistakes and get stuck in the past, because this person is not moving anywhere. And the cards are telling me that if you continue down this path, you can walk away from it anytime. The only reason why you continue dwelling on this path and sticking to something that's not working you is because you either you are choosing not to, right? For whatever reason that is. That's the reminder here. Don't get stuck on this. And if you see it's not working for you, this is time to move on. And you've got plenty of energy around you. There is also the Lover's card, which is a completely different thing. If you take the devil out of picture, this is what you have. In the original card, you got this couple standing there attached to the devil. But you have to connect with your true nature. You have to connect without the devil in the picture, right? Just remove the stuff. Try to find a way to connect with who you are, and with the honesty, removing that there's an unhealthy attachment in place. Look at things objectively, right? Whatever that may be for you, and healthy habits. We come into January, a lot of resolutions, New Year's resolutions happening. The gyms are full right now, I can tell you. So this is definitely a reminder of not to be stuck in the old patterns, not to continue doing the same old things that didn't work for you. Now, externally, what do we have here? The Knight of Swords, the Three of Wands, and we also have the Hierophant. Interesting arc here. So Knight of Swords, it's a swift, decisive energy moving forward, right? I like how you've got this balance between, or more of a synergy between the Magician and the Knight of Swords, right? This is telling me that you have a supportive environment, or maybe even more. The environment wants you to take swift action and start creating things in your life, right? There's also an expectation for travel. The Three of Wands often suggests going on a trip, but there's also a card of executing on your plans. Interesting progression here. Now, we also have a Hierophant. A Hierophant is a card of tradition. It's also a card of spiritual connection. In this case, what I'm seeing here is that to deal with this somewhat conflicting cards here with the Five of Pentacles, this feeling of not belonging and attachment to old thoughts and habits, reconnect with your spiritual nature, right? Whatever it is for you, it helps us to connect with the bigger picture. It helps us to see there's something bigger than us. And when you do that, it's often easier to see the perspective. You can step away and see what it is that you're actually doing. It's sort of shedding the light, right? I think this is the card. This is what the card is telling me. This is not the following the traditions or anything like that. It's just more reconnecting with your spirit, right? And I can see how this is also connected with the Lover's card, because in Tarot de Marseille, the Lover's card was this guy choosing between two women, and one of them represented spiritual, material things, and another one spiritual, and another one was material, right? And I think this is the dynamics here. Let's get the clarifier card. I'm just gonna get one because it seemed to be two falling out. It's time to release the negativity, right? And that's exactly what I was referring to. It's easy to get stuck in those old patterns. It's easy to ruminate on something that happened a while back, and we just keep connecting with that. But you need to release that and move forward. I can see this at the beginning of the month is holding on to to the Five of Pentacles, but more so in this little tri-card, 3-card combo here. The way to move forward is to release the negativity. Hello Libra, welcome to your part of reading. Let's see what the cards have for you for January. All right. Overall ambient energy for January. You got a 5. We got a 7 of Wands here, and 7 of Wands. Actually, 6 of Wands. I'm not sure why I'm saying 7 of Wands. 6 of Wands is the energy of victory. Right. This is energy of you going through stages and achieving a success. In the Rider-Waite-Smith is person parading in front of an audience, and here is someone who is leading the troops, right? This is a good card. It's telling me that there is a plenty of opportunities for you to become successful in January, whatever your passionate pursuit is. If you working on something, it's definitely on the cards here. Obviously, you need to take the opportunity to achieve that. We also have the Hermit card in the middle. This is a core of reading, right? A Hermit is searching for real truth. Right? It's a card of taking time away from a busy business world, from countless contacts and chatter and conversations in the office, or being involved with something really busy, stepping away from it all and look internally, trying to find what is it that's true for you, what is your true purpose. Interesting card. How do you play with these dynamics? We'll have a look at other cards surrounding the core card, but I would say that the way to achieve the victory in January for you is to reflect on what is it that's true for you and go in pursuit of those values. Align your passion with your core values. What is it that really important to you, what you stand for? For the inner world, we have the Knight of Swords, the Ace of Cups, and we have the 4 of Pentacles. In January, you jumping right into the action. I would say that the Knight of Swords is an energy of decisiveness and a very speedy action. You can see how you're going to have that clarity on what needs to be, what steps you need to take next. Now this is is transitioning into the Ace of Cups. Ace of Cups, always is a spark of energy, is some little opportunities, chances for you to engage in something, and the Ace of Cups is the energy of new emotional connection. Whether you take on it or not, that's another question, but be on the lookout for those, because that can lead you to building a really strong foundation of wealth, right? So it's an interesting arc here that through this thinking, there will be some new opportunities open up for you and leading you to come into this strong foundation on how you can build material wealth, also feeling that you do have enough here of this strong foundation, right? Looking at your inner core energies, we got this is your knowledge and learnings for the month. You got a King of Cups, you got the Hermit we talked about, and we got a Page of Cups. There's a lot of emotion happening for you internally and for the main learnings, right? The January will open up with the very strong, compassionate energy. The people will be looking up to you, and the cups in general is emotional connection. So King is the highest hierarchy in the cups, right? I also see how you'll be looking to um, take your leadership skills to the next level. And I'm saying leadership, it sounds a bit businessy, but it can also mean you just being able to be that person that others can rely on, right? It could be that. And it's important for you in January to find out that what is it that you stand for, right? The hermit card that I'm talking about. You'll only be able to be that compassionate person for others that they can rely on if you know exactly what it is that you stand for. And it's telling me that you're going to go through the new understanding, the new level. The reason why I'm saying this is because of Page of Cups. You're going to be transitioning back, and everything in life goes through cyclical changes, right? And hopefully every cycle will learn something from the previous one and bring it to the new one. So to me, it sounds that it looks to me that January, once you go through this inner search towards the mid of January, there will be some realizations for you to start building those connections you already have, engaging people, being able to help them with this new perspective, right? And also finding people who you resonate with on a different level. Because Page of Cups isn't just about the different types of connection. It's about connecting with other things, whether it's yourself or other people that surround you. With this new understanding what you stand for, who you are, you'll find people who resonate with you. Let's look at the external energy. So this is a people, environment where you are. We get the Five of Swords, the Fool, and the Five of Wands. Also, I can see the pairing here happening as well, right? So this time is on the fives. Fives is coming from a strong foundation into the next change, right? It's a conflict essentially. Something new comes into play, and things will go into unstable state, if you will, before they progress to something else. So Five of Swords generally represents a conflict, but I would say also it's not just a conflict, it's a reminder of you to choose your battles wisely, right? Is it worth fighting for something? Do you want to be right or happy? If you're in a relationship, you will know what that means for sure. And the King of Cups here, I think, is also telling me, you can see the king is looking at the person holding the swords, right? And there's a person in your environment that will be coming to you for conflict resolution. That's what I'm seeing here. They'll be asking you to help with that. So you're definitely seen as a leader by others. We also see the Fool card here. So this conflict leads to the Fool card. I think what I'm seeing here, that you will be able to resolve this conflict because that will bring everyone to the new understanding. Now, just like Fool, with Hermit, like Fool, just like Hermit, again dyslexic, looks for real truth introspectively. He's looking for this new foundation, new knowledge. The Fool is coming with a complete blank slate, right? And the Fool is the energy of a learner, someone who wants to, the adventurer, someone who wants to jump off a cliff into the unknown and go on a new journey. So I like how it's progressing from the Five to the Fool, because it's telling me a couple of things. First, you'll be able to reset expectations around people with you, and also you'll give everyone an opportunity to start fresh. And this is leading us to the last card here, the Five of Wands, also a card of conflict, but a different one. So in the Rider-Waite-Smith version, I really should probably be using that deck. You'll see all these people fighting with each other with these batons or wands, and some of them wear same clothes, which is telling me that this is the card of people who really care about something, trying to find the right approach, right? They're trying to prove that their way of getting there is the right one. So you moving from somewhat unhealthy conflict by providing that compassion into resetting everyone's expectation. But then I think this is coming from a different place. This is coming from a place of passion. So towards the end of January, I think the place, the environment, whether it's your friends, where it's your work. Passion is often referred to the business or wants in general. The expectation get reset there, and the way to overcome the conflict, or probably should say the conflicting agendas, is to also look at the emotional side of things, right? What is it that you guys are missing here? Because I can see how while these guys are fighting, you also have Page of Cups looking away from it, right? So the solution here potentially is look for new ways to resolving this. Maybe resolving this through the emotional connection, through compassion, rather than through just pure passion, proving everyone trying to prove themselves to pick one right decision. We'll do a clarifier card and see what we learned from that. I'll get a new romantic cycle begins. That is interesting. This is a general reading, right? So I would say that this is definitely the middle portion here, right? Because we got the Ace of Cups. We also have this reset of expectations, moving into more of a healthy, passionate conflict. And yeah, so January going to be interesting. Hello, Scorpio. Welcome to your part of the reading. All right, so the overall ambient energy is the Hierophant card. Hierophant represents something of a traditional order, like religions like Christianity was representing that, but it also can mean a connection with your spiritual side, which it represents that. We also have the at the core we have Five of Swords. Five of Swords is the energy of a defeat, or often also means not engaging in the fights that are not worth fighting for, like this one here. And between the two, I would say that this January is calling for reconnecting with your spiritual side of things, right? And if you feeling conflicted about events that will be taking place, reconnect with your spiritual side. Try to look at things from a different perspective. I think often we don't see forest for the trees because we're too involved, right? And also looking for a peaceful resolution for conflict. I think this is what Hierophant is telling me here. Let's have a look at your inner world, your mindset, learnings, and then external environment, people. So we got the Nine of Swords, the Ace of Swords, and Seven of Swords. We also have Queen of Swords, right? So, and the Knight of Swords. Looking at this, I can see that you jumping into January with a lot of action. There's a lot of decisiveness will be required of you, a lot of thinking, a lot of communication. And it's very important, Scorpio, that you maintain that throughout the month, because I can see the sword energy just ever present here, going all the way through. And we also have wands, right? So wands, especially here, they both in this sort of very passionate, engaging type of activity here. Let's have a look at it one by one. Let's see what we see. So we get a Nine of Swords, the Ace of Swords, and the Seven of Swords in this succession. I often get confused with the Nine of Swords in Morgan Greer version, because it does look to be like Eight of Swords, right? Here, really, this is the energy of anxiety. In the Rider-Waite-Smith deck, this person waking up from a dream. Now, the focus here is at waking up. The month will start with the sense of anxiety. And the good thing about it is that whenever you experience that sense of anxiety from a bad dream, you're woken up. So you can look at it and realize that, in fact, what everything was happening there was actually a nightmare, right? And what we see in here, this is exactly what's happening here. You've got the energy of Ace of Swords. And the Ace of Swords is a new idea, new understanding, new thinking. January, for the anxiety and realization that what is happening there isn't real, you'll find a new beginning, new understanding. Now, this is going to lead to Seven of Swords. And Seven of Swords is a card that often interpreted as well, someone doing something behind your back, dodgy, right? But it isn't just that. The Seven of Swords is often also thought of unconventional thinking. It's mainly your mind processing how you look at things. And what it's telling me here that you're gonna need to look for creative decisions, creative thinking, but also make sure that for your clarity of thoughts, you're not getting sidetracked, you're not getting deceived by the way you think. Now, how do we do it? Let's have a look at other aspects of this. So you've got the Eight of Wands, you've got the Five of Swords, and you've got a Queen of Swords. The month will kick off with a lot of action. You're probably already experiencing it because I'm recording this on the 4th of Jan, and jumping right into the action. Now, it's important here with the Five of Swords, the next card here, is to choose the right conflict, right? Don't get involved with something that you potentially cannot win or it's not worth fighting for. And this is a reminder right there. You also have a Queen of Swords. A Queen of Swords is probably one of my favorite queens in the deck. She's a lady who cuts through all the BS. She sits on a throne with a sword pointing directly at whatever is coming her way. And I think this is how you avoid deceiving yourself, right? Being able to look at things straight on. And if it's someone who you're engaging with someone, like a person, right, rather than you dealing with your own thoughts, is to be direct and ask them bluntly, what is it that they want? It could be one example of this. And not just that, also being able to be that person who can ask those tough questions, right? Whether you're asking yourself or you're asking a person in front of you. That's the energy of Queen of Swords. Externally, there is with everything that's happening there, I can see why it's happening there, and it's also easy to see the reason for anxiety this first half of January. You'll be challenged, right? The person here is on the winning side, but they're also being questioned, they're also being challenged whether they are a real winner. Now, whenever I see this card, I always say that you are a winner because you managed to get there higher, with on this version, you don't really see it, but right away, Smith's deck will show you that this person is standing on a little island, almost like a little hill, right? So they already achieved a level of success. And I think this is really you with all the other ideas and other competing priorities coming your way. And it's easy to feel anxious when that happens, because how do we know we will be able to handle it, right? Now, the guidance here is that you want to rely on other people. And also, while you're there, be objective about it. Remember the swords here, right? You want to cut through, look objectively at things. You want to see what is it that these priorities and people are really about. Three of Cups is a card of celebration. To me, this is telling me that you need to rely on your allies, right? It's also a card of friendship. It's also a card of friends uniting together, right? This line here is suggesting to me that it's not just about not getting into wrong fights. It's also not to fight with people in the first place, right? Realize that people around you, they're not really your enemies. They're there because they are passionate about something. They also have a point of view, which is, of course, valid. We create the world around us through creating this map of reality, so to speak. In their version of reality, they are correct in what they're doing, right? They're only doing it because they believe this is the right thing to do. So find that connection and connect with your allies, your friends, to push through and deal with action. And I can see how this is progressing to here. So we get the Queen of Swords and a Knight of Swords. Knight of Swords is a place of quick action, right? Is the environment kind of progressing from this celebration or connecting with your peers into another round of really fast action. The people around you will be needing you to be that person. The environment will require you to be that person. So what's the example? Example could be lots of projects. We're coming into January, right? If you're running a business, let me know in the comments, by the way, how does it resonate when I talk about a lot of action? In my version of reality, right, my map of reality, it can be projects, it can be people asking all kinds of things, and it could be emails coming through requesting the immediate answer. This is what I'm referring to, right? Now, how to deal with this? Again, I'm going to go back to the Queen of Swords. This is a lady who cuts through all the noise, uncertainty by being direct. And this is how we deal with this. If you've been asked to do many things by many people demanding this fast response, ask a question: what happens if we don't do it today? What happens if we plan to do all these things, reply to these emails, start taking these projects, some of them, not right now, but in the next month? Can we put priority on them? Can we look at them, which ones are more important? If we don't do them, what happens then? So that's the idea, the energy of a Queen of Swords, how you deal with that. Let's get a clarifier card, and hopefully it will make more sense. We've got a new start is coming, and I can definitely see that there is a new start coming. All this action that's going to be going through, a couple of things will happen. First, reconnecting or connecting with your allies, and also changing your perspective, who your enemies are. Perhaps they're not actually enemies, they are allies. This is what it's telling me here. But also with this new approach to cut through the noise, this is also a new start. I'm excited about to see what happens in your world next month. Thanks for joining me today. Hello Sagittarius, welcome to your part of the reading. Hope you've had a wonderful week, and see what the cards have for you, Sagittarius, for January. So overall, ambient energy is the Emperor. An Emperor is a very grounding, father-like figure. It's a energy of the male leadership. It's someone who is very steady and grounded, but they are ready to get into action if necessary. And we also have a Temperance card here. Temperance card is about the balance, right? And I think these cards, two of them, really play with each other. There's a bit of a synergy there. The Temperance suggests that you need to balance this Emperor's energy, sometimes rigid while very powerful. The Emperor often makes decisions without taking other people in consideration, because it's all about maintaining the empire, and it can be a little bit rigid, a bit too masculine. So I think Temperance here is saying that while you are in this environment, in this energy, you need to maintain the balance, whether it's balance between masculine and feminine, or balance between spiritual and material. This is what these cards are telling me. the inner world is called here. You've got the Ten of Swords, the Devil, and you've got the Seven of Pentacles. Ten of Swords, while it looks quite dark, it's actually a good card. This is a card of finishing a cycle. So what I'm seeing here is that this is your mental frame, your mindset. You're stepping into January ready to finish a cycle that's been happening for quite some time, and it's going to be a bit of an abrupt ending of a cycle. So this could be deciding that you no longer want to tolerate something, or perhaps there was a relationship that come into an end, or something you worked on. So it's end of a cycle, but also it's often breaking down all communication. It's just finishing off something without going back there, right? It's, in the original version of a deck, this card was called the Ruin. Now, while this is finishing off, I think there is a tendency from there to continue sticking to something that's not working for you. The Devil card here often signifies attachments, so something unhealthy. It can manifest itself as an unhealthy habit, an addiction, but also spending time with people that are toxic, but you are allowing to be there just because you're used to it, or maybe you get some sense of satisfaction, though you still knowing that this is not working for you. And we've got the Seven of Pentacles card here, right? So what I'm seeing here is that you're finishing off a cycle on early mid-December, and the Devil is reminding here, do not hang around. Once you finish something, you learn your lesson, it's time to move on, right? And this is the only way you can get to self-sufficiency. That's the only get you can get to a level of success, material success that you are wanting to achieve. Seven of Pentacles here represents a person who's been working on something for quite some time, and they're at the point there where they want to make a decision to continue doing what they're doing and continue building this material wealth, or they take a harvest and move on, right? I think this is going to come to a decision point for you, because once the 10th of Swords, the cycle finishes for you, right? And it not be a pleasant thing. There's going to be a tendency to stick around here, but the question is, are you willing to let go of what's imprisoning you, to move on and build something that you really care about? And are you going to be, are you willing to stay the course and let go of these? Like, looking at the main learning, the knowledge for January, you've got the Nine of Wands, you've got the Temperance card that we talked about, and we also have Ace of Cups. So it's getting a bit hot here. We also have a thunderstorm coming. If you hear that, I'm not sure if the camera will pick it up. So this is quite interesting. You stepping into January in a really, I wouldn't say worn out state. Not sure how it happened, because we just had the whole year and this was a perfect opportunity to reset. But it looks like January is going to be the engine something for you. And one thing to mention here as well, with the Nine of Wands, this is a person who has been on a journey for some time. They are worn out, but they're still standing tall, right? So this is beginning of January, but then you're gonna find this balance, right? I mentioned the balance between this rigidity, balance between masculine and feminine, or balance between material and spiritual. So this equilibrium is coming here. I think what worn you out is gonna come to an end, or you'll find your way of dealing with it, and it's no longer something that is taxing on you. But I definitely see the relief here towards the Temperance. It's quite a beautiful one, right? Which is also will open up the new potential, new doors for you to connect emotionally with someone. So if I was reading this as a romantic reading, this is a clear indication for me that you're moving away from a relationship that is not working for you, and some unhealthy attachments here, to something new. If we're talking about the business, because I can see here there's definitely Pentacles cards on the menu here. This is also moving away at something that wasn't working for you, quite where you're at, and you're ready to move on. You found this balance. You know where you want to be, and this is leading to new opportunities or building on something that these have been distracting you from. So, and finally, we got the external world column here. So this is your environment, people, and probably already sound like a broken record if you listen to previous signs, because I'm putting this on one video. And by the way, let me know if you're happy with this to be one bulk video. The reason I'm doing it this way is just I don't want to create too many videos and make it distracting, but if you okay with this, I would also love to know. So, external environment. Something is coming crashing down, right? Don't be alarmed. This has more to do with structures, beliefs, because it's external. If I was looking at it and let's say I was doing a reading for someone who works in a company, this to me would look like a restructure because everything else seemed to be following this, or potentially change of some kind where something that you relied on is no longer there. And again, another Ace card here, the Ace of Pentacles. With this change, new opportunities coming, right? And I like how we got two pentacles sort of on both sides, and one is nothing to do with the pentacle suit. It's more the devil, you know, the five, but it's upside down, right? The reverse, and you've got the Ace of Pentacles. But I think it's definitely a balance that you need to meet here. There's going to be opportunities for you to build wealth here, right? Whatever came crashing down, going to give space to something new. And it's also a good opportunity for you to take a bit of rest. So you've got the Four of Swords here. What's preceding Four of Swords is a broken heart, right? So, and Tarot is a progression. So when you get to Four of Swords, this is a time for you to reflect on what happened. There's some disappointments, and I can see this is happening here. What this card is telling me that people around you and environment recognize the challenges you've been going through in January, and when you give an opportunity to take a break, when you give an opportunity to walk away and reflect, whether it's taking a couple of days off or switching off for a bit, take that opportunity, right? Because if this can lead you to finding new emotional connections, and this can also lead you to figuring out what is it that you want to continue working on to build this prosperity for yourself. Let's get a clarifier card and see what that tells us. Sagittarius. Interesting. This is another card that came up for another sign today. The new start is coming, and I can see how that is definitely the case. This is a huge shift coming here based on what I see, and you just need to follow up with the action and what's happening, and just remember that the universe has its plan. You have to trust it, and whenever change happens, whether it's good or bad, something else is coming, and there's no point on clinging on to all the structures. Hello Capricorn, welcome to your part of reading. There's a thunderstorm in my area. The rain is not here yet, but I can hear the thunder. It's quite nice. It's good to reconnect with nature through moments like this. What an interesting spread. What an interesting spread. So the ambient energy is Page of Swords, and the Page of Swords is a messenger. There's something coming your way. It can be a literal message from someone, but because it's an ambient energy, I would say this is a time for you to be on the lookout for signs. I know you're looking for something, I'm sure, and this month there'll be little signs from the universe, whether it's a message from like an email message. I'm not talking about a revelation, but I also can be someone just delivering you news, right? And what kind of news? Well, let's have a look at this. So we got a few interesting cards here. So the other important card in this read for you Capricorn is Ace of Rods or Ace of Wands. This is an energy or a spark, probably should say, of a new passion. Wands often refer to some entrepreneurial type of activity, but it could also be something that you really care about. If it's a job that you've been wishing, or any other type of passion. So it's definitely, this is happening in January. Beautiful way to start your year. Let's have a look at actual the cards surrounding this and see how that all plays out. So we get the King of Cups, the Seven of Swords, and the Hanged Man. You're going to be stepping into January with this energy of the charismatic and probably more compassionate leader, right? I know leader sounds a bit businessy, so I was saying that in the other sign reading. So this is more to do with the mindset. So you have the qualities of a person that others rely on, and you're also quite influential in that. So this is the mindset, right? This is a person who cares about others and leads by example, by also understanding other people's needs and helping with that. Now, with all of that, we also have a Seven of Swords. Seven of Swords is leading to the Hanged Man. And I think what this is suggesting that King of Cups, while they're very compassionate, it's important to be aware of other things at play, and I suppose be mindful of who you give that compassion, who you give that love to, and who you're leading, right? You want to make sure that people who are with you, they're genuine and honest in the intent. So this is the Seven of Swords here is just a reminder, you know, like when you lead your people, make sure when people come to you for advice and for help, make sure that you you helping those who have genuine intents behind them. Now we also have the Hanged Man card here. So Hanged Man is a card of patience. It's a card of deliberate or kind of deliberation, but also going for some challenges. I can see how there's potentially an event or something that will happen, triggering you to revisit where you stand with these people or with this setting. And I also think that this is quite deliberate because the King of Cups, as I mentioned, this is a very generous and compassionate person, understanding others. So I do feel that you are willing to help others no matter what, right? But then I think towards the end of a month, there'll be some realization there that will change the way you see things in a good way, right? So Hangman is a learner, but he's willing to put himself through pain to gain the new knowledge. The middle column, this is your core learnings, and what we see here is a Five of Swords, the Ace of Rods, and Wands, and the Three of Cups. The Five of Swords is a reminder to choose your battles wisely, and I think this is the King of Cups here. It actually came up with someone else's sign. King of Cups is looking at this person here. It's almost as if they are sort of this sounding board, or they are reflecting or giving the person here holding the swords some support. And I think what this is telling us that there may be some challenges coming your way, and the way to deal with them is to be this compassionate person, whether it's someone coming to you for advice, or maybe you've been observing something that not necessarily aligned with your values, and the way to deal with this is compassion, right? Now, we talked about the Ace of Wands. At the core of this is the new passion, the new opportunity that is coming your way if you're willing to take it. This is moving to the Three of Cups. Three of Cups is is a card of celebration. It is a card of unity. It's a card of surrounding yourself with like-minded people. And what I'm seeing here is a progression here from changing your environment from the one where there's a bit of a distrust, there's a bit of rivalry happening for your passion, to something where everyone can resonate. Whether, and I can see that you are the one leading this change, right? Just because you've got a king here, but also, we'll talk about that in a second, there's a support from a very charismatic person who has a lot of knowledge and they'll be able to communicate to helping you with this. But yeah, so this new spark, this new passion, the way to realize its potential is to surround yourself with these people, right? You have your friends and colleagues, or someone who you consider to be a close ally or friend. External factors. So this is quite interesting. You're going to be starting off your January with the Ten of Cups. It's a card of happiness. It's a card of long-lasting happiness too. You see a rainbow here. There's a unity between man and woman there, and there's also the 10 Cups is symbolizing the completion of a cycle, like emotional connection. If you've been working on building this foundation, perhaps a family or a friendship, or really coming to this place where you are fulfilled emotionally, this is January, right? The environment there will give you all these opportunities. I also like how you've got the King of Cups. This is the highest card of the chord card of a suit of cups. Also is together with the completion of a cycle for the cups, right? So seems to me that you are ready for this change. You are ready to build this lasting happiness or emotional fulfillment, not just internally but also externally. You know, you've got everything there to be happy, right? Yeah, and because it's a general reading, again, it's very hard to tell exactly what's happening. But if I was looking at it, if it's a relationship or it's a friendship, it's definitely good signs that this is coming to a beautiful combination there. Now, we also have Queen of Swords and the Fool, right? Both really strong cards. Queen of Swords is a energy of a person or of the environment that is calling for you to be honest with yourself or honest with others. And take a really close look at yourself and not being afraid to speak truth, right? And this is all leading, it's all heading to the Fool card. Now, I also think that this is this completion of a cycle here emotionally is going to give you a foundation for something that will lead to the next cycle. Like the Fool is a beginner energy, someone who just starting out learning new things, right? Because you have Ace of Wands here, and you've got this compassion, this connection with other people in your life, and this inner understanding. Your environment is, I want to say, is fertile for you to explore and find new opportunities, whatever that is, right? The Fool jumps off a cliff into an unknown with an idea to explore life. And I think towards the end of January, you're definitely going to be there. And I guess the only thing I will suggest that this is not a solo journey, despite you having these realizations, Hangman being by himself. The cards here suggesting that you need to rely on other people. You cannot do this by yourself. And it's definitely the Fool, to enable the Fool, you know, the beginning, you need to be working with other people. And we're going to get a clarifier card for you, Sagittarius, and quite interesting. So you get your commitment is being tested. And I want to say that this is most certainly something to do with the Queen of Swords, right? The Queen of Swords demands honesty, demands clarity, and demands cutting through all the noise, getting to the point. And I think this is speaking to that. Hello, Aquarius. Welcome to your reading. So overall energy for January for you Aquarius is the Two of Wands. Two of Wands is energy of making big plans, and it makes sense here because we're just starting the year, and if you've been looking for some answers on where to go next, January is going to be the month. You also have the Emperor card at the center here, and this is telling me that the way to approach, or I want to say to win January, is to embrace the masculine energy of the Emperor, someone who is decisive, someone who is grounded, but someone is also who is ready to take action if it's necessary, right? So that's how you build these. That's how you get to build these plans that will continue guiding you throughout the year. In the mindset or inner world, we got the King of Cups, the Seven of Pentacles, Eight of Pentacles, it's happening with my eyes, in the Star card. King of Cups is the compassionate person that others gravitate to. You will be stepping into January with this energy. It would also help you to hone in on mastering your craft. I think what I'm seeing here, this is probably for someone who is a person who runs a business or runs a team or have a group of people that are reliant on you. You will continue working through January, helping yourself and others to master the craft, right? I can also see that you've got some plans, you've got some ideas, and to firm them up, you need to go through this, right? Help others for compassion. And the Star here suggesting to me that you're gonna build some ideas on where you want to take your life next, right? Also, if you're looking for some guidance from a universe, from life, this is happening towards the end of January. The Star is also a sign of hope, but to get there, you just need to continue making these little steps going towards it, or have a mindset of building mastery. It's not that it's a consistency that matters, not going all in for one day and then just letting go, right? Inner core, this is your knowledge, your learnings for the month coming from inner world and from external environment. As Hangman, the Emperor, in the Page of Rods or Page of Wands. The January will give you I want to say opportunity, but really is you putting yourself through some hurdles for discomfort, something that you deliberately will raise your hand and say, I want to be part of this, like a volunteering, for instance, to gain some knowledge, right? I can see that you're looking for that next step. Just looking at the energy of King of Cups, it's a leader in someone's life. And I can see that you're looking for that next challenge. I can see that you want to move to the next level. Now, this is the Emperor card, right? That's that strong foundational masculine energy that you're leading towards this. The cards here suggest to take a challenge, right? To get through and get the Emperor card. And remember, Tarot isn't predicting the future, right? It gives you some energies and ideas, and like a boat, you can choose to swim in the waters that get you somewhere where the energy takes you to, or you may choose to ignore it, and by that you'll create a different opportunity, a different path for yourself. So this is only one version of reality. They can be so big, so many, that if you choose a challenge, if you take a challenge, this is where it's going to lead you. And then also create, open up other doors, create other chances of building something that you're really passionate about, right? This is the Page of Wands card. Now you also have another page here. So this is external world. We got Page of Cups, the Ace of Cups, and we've got the Six of Swords card here. Page of Cups, he's he's the one who is sort of is trying to get into tippy-toeing, that's the word I'm looking for, something like this, who is standing on the verge of emotional discovery, but it's only like a beginning of it, right? There is a person in your life, or maybe people in your life, that wanting to get closer to you, only if you allow it for it to happen. And that's why the Page of Cups here is looking at this fish in a cup. Can we be friends? What are you? Are we on the same level? That's sort of what you see in here. And because the Page of Cups is looking at the Hanged Man, I'm thinking that this is a person, someone who wants to reach out, who wants to connect. But it can only happen if you have this newly formed understanding of something, if you look at things from a different perspective. If it's a conflict resolution, or you want to, let's say, appeal to a new audience or make connection with someone, the way to do it is to build the understanding of who they are, right? Connect to them on an emotional level. We also have Ace of Cups, and I can see how you're going to go through this. If you follow this path, you're going to go through the stages, right? You can see that the Ace of Cups, that's the opportunity for emotional connection, right? If you're willing to make the necessary steps. But to be that person, you need to come across as a strong and charismatic leader who knows where he's going to take his life. This is a Two of Cups and the Emperor energy, right? So if you haven't got the plans, write them down, right? I think that's another sign. Whenever I see Three of Wands or Two of Wands, my thinking is right away. If you have ideas in your head, put them somewhere where you can see them and just objectively look at them. Is this something you really want? Make it as a reminder of where you want to go. I'm also seeing this Six of Swords. So Six of Swords is finding refuge in calm waters, right? It's just someone who wants to move away from potentially environment where they weren't appreciated, the environment where they weren't understood, to somewhere more calmer and quieter. Now, what I'm seeing here is that people around you want you to give that confidence, and they want them to give that compassion they're looking for. So in some cases, you can look at this ascension from external to internal world. And what I'm seeing here, if I look at this, for instance, right, there are people in your environment that are looking for you to be that rock for them, right? Someone who is very solid, but also not just the Emperor energy, but also someone who is compassionate, someone who cares about these people, right? And you can create this place where you deflect all the drama and negativity for them, right? Whether it's your family, whether it's your friend, they're looking for that type of leadership here. Let's get a clarifier card and see what that tells us. All right, Aquarius, your commitment is being tested. Let me just pull another card because I did shuffle these, but I just want to make sure that I'm pulling cards that are actually speaking to you. Right, so your commitment is being tested. I think this is, again, people looking at you for connection, people looking for you, for your help, right? And we also have the time to give rather than take. And I think this is, again, speaks to this interaction, right? So if you come across as a leader, you need to be able to give to people. For the King of Cups energy, this is the compassion, the understanding, not necessarily given in a way as something material, right? Like you will see on Six of Pentacles card, right? This is a different type of energy. This is where you given in your time, in your attention, that sort of thing. Pisces, my lucky last. Thank you for joining me today. And I've been recording this different times of the day, so if you saw me at the intro and now you see me having a little bit of a beard, that explains why I didn't age in a span of 2 hours. It's just the magic of modern technology allowing us to do all kind of wonderful things. Right, so what do we have here for you, Pisces? So this is January reading the overall ambient energy is the Three of Wands. Three of Wands is a card that is telling me that you need to start taking action on your plans, and it looks like you do have some plans, right? Otherwise, we wouldn't see this card here. Also, it's January. I'm sure you put some New Year's resolution, or you have some big bold ideas for this year. So the cards are telling me this is the time to do it, January, right? We also have the Eight of Wands card here, and I can see how you are going to be taking that action. Of course, if you follow the guidance, right? The Eight of Wands, there's a lot of stuff happening in the air. These wands just flying, and I'm also seeing that the other one, they're actually, if you look at it, they're on the down trajectory, meaning that you're gonna land those ideas, right? So quite interesting and quite harmonious, I would say, interaction between these two. Now let's look at your inner world. This is your mindset, thoughts, ideas, desires. So we've got the Five of Swords, the Empress, and we got the Queen of Pentacles card. So the January will start for you with tossing around whether you want to take an action, whether you want to get involved in some of the conversations, some of the conflicts that you've seen around you, right? And it's just a reminder of choosing your battles wisely. Some battles worth fighting for and some don't. Of course, you need to figure out for yourself where you want to take this. But if you decide to go that route, right, you'll get the Empress card here. The Empress is a mother of the tarot. Now, what it means is that she's a fertile, she's a abundant, very down to earth type of energy. What I'm seeing here is that your mindset, your thoughts will be leaning toward embracing that energy of creativity. So, and it's also lead to the Queen of Pentacles. Now, this is a reminder and a guidance that rather than getting involved with conflicts, either internal or with someone else, you need to move your attention away from that towards creativity. The conflicts, they can be productive, but most of the times they're not. They're the opposite of creating something new, right? And the Empress is a reminder of that. But also I like how it transitions to a Queen of Pentacles. So towards the end of the month, this is going to evolve into you taking more practical steps or feeling more resourceful to take on challenges that may come in your way, right? So that's a good transition here with Empress and Queen of Pentacles both supporting this resourceful type of energy and quite grounded as well. Quite like that. For core learnings, takeaways, and knowledge in January, we've got the Four of Swords, the Eight of Wands, and we've got the Seven of Swords, right? There's a few swords in this reading. And swords, just to remind you, is the energy of communication. It's energy of clarity and thoughts. So we've got the Four of Swords here, which is suggesting to me that you're going to be taking refuge, taking a break, I probably say, to recover from whatever's been happening. I have a feeling December wasn't the easiest month for you. I have a feeling that you coming into to January with a sense of wanting to move away from a disappointment or hurt feelings that you may have experienced in December, and wanting to take a break from that and reflect on what happened, but also heal from that too, potentially, right? It's general reading. It's very difficult to describe scenarios for every person who watches it, but I'm hoping it's making sense for you. Now, we talked about January being very busy. Makes sense. We're just starting out the year. So this is the energy of Eight of Wands. And everything around it's going to sort of arrange itself around that, right? We've got a Seven of Swords here. So again, another thought and ideas and communication. This is quite interesting. So this is a reminder of of being strategic about who and how you engage with people, right? And also a reminder of not cutting corners. There may be a tendency to achieve the goals, move where you are, where you want to go, to be a little bit creative about solving issues, but it's also a reminder of not to do a genuine work, trying to achieve your goals with authentic and honest approach, rather than do something sneaky like this guy running away with a whole bunch of swords he presumably stole from someone. Let's look at the external energy. So we got the Seven of Wands here. We got the Four of Swords and Four of Swords and Six of Swords. They have a very similar energy in a lot of ways. It's both of them either moving towards calm or wanting to look for calm. And they also have a Death card here, right? So what does it all mean? People in your environment, if it's work, will be testing you, and I can tell from looking at the Five of Wands, it's a card of someone who already achieved success, but they've been challenged, right? If you're speaking in front of an audience, for instance, you go there because you have knowledge and something to share, and people who will be an audience, they're the ones who want to learn from you, right? But they may also ask you tricky questions. So it's not a question of whether you have what it takes. It's more of the showing people again that you do have what it takes. So that's the challenge here, I guess. Now I'm also going to mention that you don't want to necessarily continue putting yourself for this constant proving that you have what it's worth, right? Because we have a Four of Swords here, which is a card of healing, taking time off from potential challenges that you experienced in December, previous few weeks. And this is also telling me maybe it's not, you don't have to prove anyone anything. And if you get challenged, you just be you. You don't engage, and you indirectly showing that you are the boss. You've got what it takes without engaging with people, right? Don't respond to a challenge is also a very powerful response. Now we have the Six of Swords here. This is the card of moving away into calm waters, right? People around you may not want to actively engage with the action that you need to take. And it's not because they don't want to work with you. It's more to do that they are looking for less stressful environment, right? And this is also suggesting that if you want to achieve what you want, you need to make sure that you take people on the journey, and you also give them that the comfort and quiet that they're looking for, because they're moving away from action, right? So in a way, if you want to achieve something here, I can see how this is really an energy of not challenging directly and giving people the space that they're looking for. I'm sure you understand what it means. Now we have a Death card here as well. Now Death card is, I want to say nothing but it is definitely something. It's a transformational change, a change that happens without you wanting to engage in it, right? So if I'm looking at it here, what's happening here for you, showing these actions, not engaging directly, and then in a way, this is going to be a conflict between you wanting to take an action, not people not wanting to engage with it, right? Or not willing to engage with it. And this is going to come to an end here at the end, towards the end of the month. And one thing I will say here is the reminder that if you want to go on the journey, you want to make sure people who go on the journey with you really want to be part of this, right? And I think this is what it says here. If people are trying to actively challenge you and they haven't been wanting to be a part of action, they'll naturally will not be part of what you're building and what you're working. And that is totally okay, right? Because I can see here that you also have a Queen of Pentacles energy, and she's a resourceful queen. She's got the knowledge, the strength, all the other type of resources. Your mind is resourceful, right? And if someone is not coming along on the journey because they we've got other ideas how they want to do it, and that's totally fine, because there will be some others. And you also have resources to help you if you need to go on this journey, like this person here by itself, right? So that's the read. Let me get a clarifier card for you, and let me know how it resonated, because I'm always curious to see how these energies transpire in your life. Your commitment has been tested. This is coming up quite a lot today. Did shuffle this deck, and yeah, so when I was looking at other spread, I was trying to see where that fits. I think this is where it fits here. If you're seeing people not willing to go on the journey, and they're not agreeing with you, that's okay. I think what is likely to happen, you're gonna have a group of followers who really like what you're doing, and they'll come along with you, and there'll be some others. So the idea here is that when you seeing people disagreeing with you, you stick to your guns. You show conviction, right? And that's the idea there, that if you truly believe in something, if your goals are worthy, you should pursue them rather than succumbing to external influences.